Well, good morning. We're standing between you and lunch, but we will try to keep it entertaining. My name is Daryl Shaper. I am the GM of the Cloud Digital Group, and I'm actually really thrilled to be here with all of you today. I've been at Arrow for about 4.5 years, but I came over from Arrow Digital and the components side of the business to ECS, and it feels like coming back home because I started my career at Compaq in technology, acquired by HP. One of my old friends, Tom Flaherty, is here, who's been at HP all that time. So I worked in the channel ecosystem then, and it's really a delight to be back. We've got 3 outstanding panelists from 3 extraordinary companies, and we're gonna talk about the SaaS model, monthly recurring revenue, and how the ecosystem is evolving. And I think it's evolving a lot right now. So, Rick, I'll start with you, if you don't mind. Just introduce yourself, talk a little bit about Citrix and how you've worked with Arrow over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. So again, I'm Rick Sloan. I'm the Senior Manager for the networking group for the Americas channels. 20-year career, here in the industry. Have built a lot of channel organizations, CRN 5-star partner programs, and have incorporated an awful lot of what I've learned throughout my career to be able to bring into Citrix. Joined Citrix about 1.5 years ago. Phenomenal company, great technology, and just excited to be a part of the ride in the transformation to the cloud and to be able to bring some of that knowledge and experience here today to share with everybody.
Great. You want to talk a little bit about the growth in the Arrow partnership?
Absolutely. So first of all, congratulations to Arrow. At our Summit Worldwide Conference back in January up in Orlando, we had over 5,000 attendees, both partners and internal. Arrow had received the award for the 2018 Operational Excellence Award. Not shocking by how well Arrow performs with the partners. I think when you look at value add, Arrow kind of leads the charge in the marketplace for value add. You're also our exclusive distributor globally for Citrix. So as we land more and more of the large enterprise, international, global organizations and companies, it gives us the opportunity to really be able to work with local partners and be able to fulfill, throughout the globe and have a distributor, an organization like Arrow, be able to enhance that. And our partnership with Microsoft is not new. Citrix is close to a 30-year company since its inception, has had a strategic relationship with Microsoft. It's great to be, here on the panel with John. As we continue in the transformation, it's all about the user experience. And what we're doing with Microsoft today is we've become certified with our SD-WAN product with Office 365. So the users in those remote locations having jitter, having latency, accessing Skype, due to bandwidth issues, we help solve those issues. We access the closest front door of 365. So in order to bring that experience up to the levels that organizations look to have by having a cloud technology, we do that through our solution. We also, as you move more workloads into Azure, we were one of the first 2 vendors with the SD-WAN solution to be certified in our virtual WAN, in the virtual WAN strategy as well. And we complement that really through an acquisition that we did last year called Sidexis, now ITM, Integrated Traffic Management. Real simple way to describe it, it's the ways of the internet. Shortest path, if a pop goes down or access, we will reroute that traffic immediately. We had phenomenal success through the Super Bowl, through hundreds of thousands of streaming videos. And so again, the whole partnership that we have, the integration with Microsoft really stands strong. We signed with Arrow about 7 quarters ago. We've had 130% growth in bookings, over 114% in pipeline. So again, real strong relationships, the CDRs, channel development reps. We're constantly trying to enhance the relationship that we have with all of the partners. So how do we bring additional value add from both ourselves in the cloud and with Arrow? We're looking to do with enabling the partners. And we're extremely profitable. You know, when you look at our cloud portfolio, partners can earn up to 32 points of discounts through registration process. We do both Spark, which is find us that net new opportunity, and then continue to drive value add through knowledge and enhancement of additional drive of another 16, so up to 32 points. So a very strong, rich partner program in the cloud environment.
Great. Well, we were thrilled to win that award, but my team, I know we were even more thrilled that there were 12 North America Partner Awards, and we're the smaller distie in North America. 10 of the 12 awards went to our partners. One of, I think, runner-up for Partner of the Year with them, fastest growing, was Q, who was up here on the stage yesterday from Alchemy. So we're really proud of the growth we've had with you guys. Turning it over to my friend John Strasberg from Microsoft. We're growing like crazy with you guys, and please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about that growth.
Thanks for having me on the panel. I've been at Microsoft since 2002, and I've been around the world with them. I started in Minneapolis with their enterprise business and went down to Kansas for a few years, and then to the US headquarters in 2008 when we launched at that time, which was called BPOS, and today that franchise is Office 365. It was our first SaaS offering, and I was the worldwide director of sales, and we had 150 black belt employees, both technical and account management employees, trying to sell that BPOS solution, or now what we know as Office 365, in the enterprise space. And after that, I went to Africa, and I ran our enterprise business from Senegal to Madagascar, and worked on transforming that legacy African business that we had been in that continent for decades into a cloud-based business. And so I'm excited to be on the panel and talk about annuity selling and transforming a channel, and it's really great to be here.
Great. Hey, you didn't mention 755% growth with you guys from 17 to 18. So one of the things I'm super proud of is we were at the first part of 2018, we were the fastest growing distributor for Microsoft in North America. Mm-hmm. But we've now become the fastest growing distributor for Microsoft in the world. So really thrilled to be growing and adding with them.
Yeah, and to build on that just for a second, at our Worldwide Partner Conference, we recognized Arrow for that growth and transformation. So it's another award that you guys took away.
Good. Well, you'll have to tell us Africa stories over drinks. I bet they get some good ones. All right. Tom Kopek is the Senior Alliances Consultant for Cloud with Oracle, and also a great asset here. I'm going to have to keep Tom in his seat. He's high energy. I've seen him present a couple times.
I'm dying sitting in this chair. Tom Kopek with Oracle. Nice. First of all, Arrow, thank you for doing this in Denver. I appreciate it. My friends at American Airlines missed me today, so it was nice to come here instead. So with Oracle, 21 plus years, somewhere in that area. In the channels the entire time. And Arrow has been a long-time partner of ours, and guys, thank you. Oracle's not exactly always easy to deal with, so I thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for being our partner. I want to spend a few moments on the next slide.
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about the value you guys mean to us. And I throw up some hard numbers here. And let me comment on these real quick. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, why is this moron putting hardware on-premise numbers up here? This is a cloud discussion, right? Well, Oracle's approach in the industry, our strategy, is really a hybrid strategy. So the hardware component, the software component, obviously the cloud component, are all pieces of this. So when I talk to the teams here at Arrow, you guys are killing it. Look at the numbers. You're doing great. I think the only thing that's kind of flat is the software number. The cloud number, 182% of our target. And this is US numbers for Oracle's first half, June through November. So thank you all very, very much. I really appreciate it. Next slide. When we talk about cloud specifically, up and to the right, we've had bounces, yes, but the cloud number continues to grow. Again, we appreciate that immensely, and thank you all for working with us very closely.
Great. Well, I think You know, all of these companies are making a transition to a new way of selling, right? This sort of monthly recurring revenue model. And John and I were talking before, Microsoft is really a poster child for shifting to monthly recurring revenue. They've really shifted from perpetual licenses to Office 365 and then Azure for the infrastructure as a service. And he pointed out to me when we were getting ready this morning, they've beat out Amazon and Apple. They are the world's most valuable company at this point. And I think in part it's because Satya and the team at Microsoft have done such an extraordinary job. So did your companies, and we'll start with you, come back to John and Tom, but did you set specific goals around transitioning to SaaS and MRR as a company? Rick?
Yeah, so if you can hop on to the next slide, there we
Sure.
go. So we sat with Wall Street, so kind of like 5 years out that Arrow has had for many years. Last year, our executive leadership, David Henshaw, who is our current CEO, was our CFO for over 15 years, moved next door to the office next door a couple of years ago and has done an incredible job just impressing Wall Street as the CEO, helping lay out the groundwork for the next 3 years. And so this started in 2018. So our whole transformation, you know, kind of what you were talking about, also going from a hardware platform into a cloud platform. The transformation to the cloud is not easy. The acceptance of that monthly recurring revenue, where analysts on Wall Street and even partner organizations are just used to tangible. If I sell something, pay me my commission, or how do I book the revenue? And going into these multi-year contracts really are extremely lucrative. They're much more profitable for the partner, for the organizations at hand. And at the same time, it also brings a lot of challenges. And through those challenges are some of what we're talking about is being a software company. We're finding it very easy where our product teams are developing and transforming our whole organization from that hardware platform into the cloud. And so we've had phenomenal results thus far, you know, where our 2020 targets, you know, are 40% of our total revenues are for subscription. We are already heads and tails over what our expectations were coming out of the first year. In addition to the overall cloud solutions, we're also looking for 60% of our cloud solutions, cloud subscriptions, you know, to come into place for new subscriptions come 2020. So again, we've gotten off to a really, really great start. The valuation of our market capitalization on Wall Street speaks for those numbers of how well we've been doing coming out of the gates. Organizations like Arrow and a lot of you sitting in this room helping work with various partners on being able to develop and strive towards the cloud technologies, and sitting on a panel, which I'll get to in a little while as well, is how do we address that hybrid multi-cloud? All those options that are out there, we are doing extremely well, whether it's in our mainstay of our virtualization business, our XenApps and desktop, as everybody probably is well aware of, you know, and used to, as well as moving into our NetScaler or our networking portfolio that today is close to $1 billion in revenue. We're probably the 12th or 13th largest networking vendor in the world. And a lot of this is all coming through this whole transformation to the cloud. So definitely solid numbers that we've been posting and are planning to continue to post on a daily and quarterly basis.
Great. John, did Satya and Amy set specific goals, or how did you guys
Even long before Satya and Amy took over, you go back to 2007 and 8, immediately we started building geo-redundant and geo-replicated data centers around the world. A data center alone will cost $5 billion to build. And so immediately we have 130,000 employees. We quoted everybody carried a cloud quota and an on-premise quota going back to 2007. Now the percentage of, in 07 till today, the percentage of cloud quota you had relative to your mix and your territory has changed a lot year over year. Obviously I lead cloud for the US channel with the rollout of CSP, so I'm 100% quoted on a cloud number. But today, even in our enterprise, most of our enterprise reps are carrying a cloud quota of 90 to 95%, if that's how they drive their variable comp. When Amy and Satya took over and Steve left, two things really happened. Amy changed the narrative of how we spoke to Wall Street, and so how we aggregated our books. She really did a good job making it more consumable for how Wall Street looked at our valuation. And Satya really got good at identifying what I would call leading and lagging indicators. So as an example, we use a term called a customer add. All that really is a net new tenant for Dynamics 365, for Azure, or for Office 365. And at a weekly level, all the way down to an individual contributor in our global sales force, we track the number of customer adds that have been added every week. And we are paid variable compensation based on customer adds. That's an example. So the language we use inside the company and how we keep score inside the company really forced a lot of transformation. And then when you go out into the partner ecosystem and you look at what ECS is doing, you've got a legacy base of partners that used to sell servers, and you sold all these solutions, and transforming a very complex channel, whether it's through Arrow or any other indirect provider or direct resellers, is really hard. And you need to get partners that want to participate in the new modality, and some partners simply don't. And so understanding how and what will motivate a partner long-term to go with the new monthly reoccurring revenue modality and which ones won't, that both, there's some art and science to how you do that. At the end of the day, we continue to use language inside the company, and I'll close by saying this. There's an element of your role that is around perform, and there's an element of your role around transform. And inside of Microsoft, the perform means selling on-premise software, and the transform is selling cloud. Now, again, the mix from 2007 till 2019, you needed to do a lot more perform in 2007 and a little bit of transform. Today, you need to almost do everything in the transform vocabulary and very little on the perform category.
That's great. We're going to steal that. We're going to perform and transform too, because we've got to do that. So Tom, where is Oracle on their journey from perpetual license to being a totally SaaS company?
Well, we're on the journey. Now, let me qualify this a little bit. Oracle, we're probably from the cloud vendors who are here, we're probably the newest to the marketplace in the channel. What I mean by that is we've been in the channel with our cloud offerings a little less than 4 years. Great timing. But the key thing around this is we have a resale component, and we have this up here now. One of the things we ask your partners to do is resell Oracle Cloud. And think about it. The transformation that we are all going through is customers and partners make a lot of bucks on premise, and it's a one-time hit. They go to a subscription-based model, as we were talking about a moment ago. It's not the big-time hit. So we're asking our partners to, remember, utilize this resale model, take advantage of the ARR capability on a yearly basis, and really build the relationship. Start with a cloud offering, hopefully it's Oracle's cloud offering. Start with that cloud offering, own that relationship, and then go back into that customer every few months and continue to build that particular environment. At the same time, and we touched on it earlier, the partner community needs to provide the expertise. And I think it was from the previous panel. The last thing we want is technology sitting on the shelf, whether it be on-premise technology or cloud components that were purchased sitting on the shelf. We want the partner to bring the expertise, take advantage of the capability. Yes, you sold it, but also implement. Make sure customer is utilizing the environment. We, from an Oracle point of view, we are very dependent on our partner community to take care of these type of activities. Next slide.
Sure.
So as part of that, I want to talk briefly about our sets of offerings. And since we are the newest player in the marketplace, lots of tools in this marketplace. So let's start with SaaS. SaaS is one of our key areas. That is, from an Oracle point of view, our biggest cloud environment. I saw something Gartner has put us from the ERP cloud environment in the leader category just this past week, actually. So my point being is SaaS has been out there for a while, available to the channel. Again, relatively short period of time. There are some resale requirements that we ask a partner to go through. Our platform environments, it's the Oracle database, but there are other components that make that up, the Java components and others. And then finally, our infrastructure as a service. And our infrastructure, as we know, it's our computing, it's our storage, it's our networking platform that makes up this full stack of solutions. But keep in mind, leading that is our software as a service offering. Larry still, it's his baby still. That's our driving. That's the point where he's really driving us around the SaaS environment.
Great. So hopefully we have a little time for questions, but I want to, yesterday one of the things, I think was during Sean's, he had people raise up their hands. Who's been at Arrow more than 10 years out here in the audience? It's impressive. It's great. Then if you added on, who beyond the group, because that was over half the group, who's been in the channel ecosystem more than a decade, right? I think so, I worked in the channel a while too. There's a guy, Jay McBain from Forrester, who says the next year and a half is going to be more transition in the channel ecosystem than the last 20-something years. I don't know if he's really right. I don't know if there's going to be that much transformation, but there definitely is evolution in the ecosystem. There's a set of our partners who want to retire. They're not ready to make this shift to the cloud. There's a lot of change going on, and we have to simplify that complexity. Jay McBain also says that we, as the distributor, have always been good at simplifying complexity and allowing our partners to punch above their weight. That's our job. And I'm confident with the experience and the awesome group out here that we can do that. So my sort of last question before we open it up is, when you got this tenured group of channel ecosystem experts, what do you want them to kind of know and convey as they're out there talking to partners going forward?
So thank you, Dal, and great question. So I happen to know Jay.
Okay.
Very well, and totally agree with the transformation. There's a lot of partners, and we're facing this at Citrix as well, of partners that are just used to the same old way, and it's the perpetual way. And where there's still going to be a percentage of the marketplace that still stays in that realm, a lot of the transformation, and we've seen this success come through moving into the cloud and into the hybrid cloud. And whether it's us being the largest workloads in Azure or, Oracle's or any other decisions that partners are looking at, what do they need for SaaS? What do they move their applications? What we're finding from partners is the owners and the executives of partners that see that vision, whether they're hearing it through analysts in the industry, through any of us as manufacturers or vendors recommending to them, or through Arrow, we're all changing our partner programs. And our partner programs are enhancing how a partner does business, how customers are looking to do business. And when I look at Citrix's transformation into the cloud, we are extremely successful as renewals are coming up and being able to go back into a trade-up for that customer to go more into the OpEx model. They're excited. They're excited on that opportunity to be able to have, and a lot of times, that hybrid. And how many times have we heard not only ourselves on stage, but it's the hybrid multi-cloud. The Citrix technology, where this really fits with us, it goes back to what I said earlier. We're a software-first company. We're a software company. And so in the hybrid cloud, we're giving customers, through our partners, that ability to create those hybrid multi-cloud models. Through our pooled licensing, through our ADC, through our application delivery controller, the ability to do pooled licensing where customers are no longer making that decision, I need to buy a product that's going to sit in my data center, I need to buy from that same vendor a different technology that's now going to sit into one of the clouds, and it might be a different license set and product that sits into the cloud, where we're offering things like pooled licensing. Because we're a software company, we had the ability to really reconstruct how we come to market. So we offer more of a bandwidth rather than just a license on a particular appliance or to sit in a cloud in a virtual. And so having that ability, and more importantly, that flexibility in this whole transformation is what's giving our partners that ability who have that vision to be able to transform themselves, transform their business aspect. There's many times throughout my career I've sat with business owners, sat and looked at their balance sheet, helped them look at their business consultatively. And so the ones that really can adjust and change commission structures for their reps, how to get paid on a monthly rather than just here's your one-time payout. You know, these are all anxieties I think we all go through every single day of how do we help the partner learn new methodologies, learn new mathematics in order to run their business, but most importantly, run their business profitably. And so they have the loyalty from their reps, like all of you sitting in the room, phenomenal show of hands of not only being here for 10 years, but also being in the channels. So I think you can really relate to the compelling piece that I'm kind of talking about, which is helping that partner transform themselves. It's not easy for all of them. And so we're seeing some of those legacy organizations either be acquired, grab that customer base. But you know, the other piece that you can help bring to your partners is also, just like we spoke about our market capitalizations, what's the valuation of their business? For those organizations that want to sell one day and the consolidation continues, I was sitting at breakfast and I kind of joked where, you know, the conversation was about how many acquisitions and consolidations companies are making today. And I said, you know, think back 5 years. Can you remember all those companies that consolidated 5 years ago? So it's inevitable that it just will continue to happen. A valuation for a partner, they may only get 1 to maybe 3 times revenues if they're a perpetual-based organization, because a private equity or an organization coming in to look to acquire them or consolidate them won't give a great valuation on what they look at is a one-time customer. May have been, could be Goldman Sachs, and it was, oh, but they're $1 million customer or they're a $5 million customers. The private equity organizations, financial institutions, they don't care because that was a one-time order. What they are caring about is the longevity of the monthly recurring revenue. And so as we sit here on stage as a panel collaborating, it's really important for all of you to be able to bring that knowledge and experience to the partners to help them with this transformation, because in a monthly recurring revenue, suddenly their valuation to go liquidate or go sell their assets of their company could bring them 5 to 8, sometimes 8 to 10 times revenues. That's large. If you're dealing with a $5 million or a $10 million partner, that valuation is a huge delta between the two. So taking on and really understanding what the subscription model, the monthly recurring revenue really does for yourselves and that quote unquote value add that you bring to the partners is really extremely large. The other piece that I want to close with is, you know, as we do our pooled licensing, as our virtualization and our transformation to the cloud, we are absolutely there, but we're also giving those customers the option for that hybrid environment, those that still have the data center, those that are starting to move to the cloud, those that are selecting which cloud to move to. We offer no cloud lock-in because of our pooled licenses. So suddenly there's a lot more flexibility that partners have. And the other piece that I want to close on is over 96% of our transactions are partner-based. So we are very strong, very mature channel programs, like all of us really sitting here on the panel. We have very strong, very mature partner programs that are also very profitable for them as well.
Thanks, Rick. I think that's a really good point about the monthly recurring revenue makes a massive difference in the valuation. If you look back at the stocks of these three companies, Microsoft and Citrix are both, I think Microsoft is 183% up over the last 5 years. It's just straight up and to the right. Citrix, pretty much the same thing, up about 120%. Oracle, not as steady up over that time, but their price to earnings ratio is over 50. So they make like 52 multiple on price to earnings. To give you context, Arrow Electronics is 10, right? So they're 5 times as much value for the profit dollars they produce. So paying attention to these companies that are on the path to transformation towards SaaS and monthly recurring revenue is a valuable lesson for us and our partners. So John, over to you. I know you have strong opinions about the channel.
Yeah.
I put the highlighting on there, sorry, but interested in your thoughts.
Well, I'm biased. I mean, I looked at my career. I've been selling software since 1991. A tide rises all boats, and I've tried to go where the tide is at. I mean, in 2007 and 8, I had the opportunity to lead the global black belt sales force at Microsoft when we launched BPOS Office 365, because I thought that the momentum and the strategy and the direction would be personally beneficial, professionally beneficial, but I thought I'd learn a lot in the process. When I went to Africa,
how many houses you own, so I know it worked out well.
When I went to Africa, at that time, of the 10 most fastest growing economies globally, 8 of them were in Pan-Africa. People were telling me, why the hell do you want to go to Africa? And I knew we needed to build out a cloud infrastructure. My point is I can clear the slides around the metadata and the IDC research, but at the end of the day, cloud is real. And so you think about the partners that you all are working with inside of ECS. I think what's really interesting, you go back even 5 years ago, there's a big change that's happened around the physical server manufacturing and consumption industry. Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple consume 80% of the physical servers manufactured globally. 3 companies. That wasn't true 15 years ago. The need for compute and how compute is delivered through the indirect channel happens now through a modality of cloud. And so it gets really interesting. I believe you really need to diagnose early, how does the partner want to make money? And if the partner wants to sweat the old business model, I don't spend any time with that partner at all. Now, the reality is some partners need to do a little bit of both, and we try to recognize that. When we onboarded Arrow in 2014 to be a 2-tier CSP cloud indirect provider in the market, we didn't have the opportunity to sell perpetual licenses via CSP. It was a brand new platform, and we were launching it globally, and it was purely to sell cloud services through this platform. We've innovated and evolved, and that platform has as well, and we can sell on-premise perpetual licensing through our cloud marketplace and through ArrowSphere's cloud marketplace. It's an example of trying to understand that everybody isn't immediately going to go to the cloud. Now, I will tell you that I have strong opinions. I feel like the resellers and value-added partners that don't transform to the new modality, 1, will be devalued, and 2, will go out of business. The innovation and the way computing is happening and the rate at which it's happening is faster than they want to believe. So I just simply feel like the market opportunity, the market valuation, and the way in which tech companies are going to incent the channel is all going to be around the new industry.
Great. All right. Thank you. Tom.
All right, John, thank you for having all those comments on there. It's a lot of good ammo. I appreciate it. So let me wrap up the Oracle component of this. And the question was like, what do I need from you guys? So what I need from your team is, again, Oracle, again, as I said before, probably the newer player in the cloud, in the channel, if you will. So remember a couple things. Our strategy is a hybrid strategy. Yes? but it's the same technology. So a lot of you have partners who work with a lot of Oracle customers out there. Remind them that the technology they're running on-premise today is the same technology in the public cloud or cloud at customer. Same product. So if they are considering, again, customers, depending on the customer, some are ready now, some are going in a few years, whatever it might be, remind them, same technology across the board, wherever you want to run it. Obviously, Oracle workloads work very nicely on an Oracle cloud environment. Question comes up many times, it's like, wait a minute, I have a Microsoft workload. I'm going to pick on you a little bit, sorry. I have a Microsoft Office 360 workload. Can I put it in your public cloud? Yeah, you can. Well, how well will it run? Well, I said, well, it'll run. Then I backed the comment up, it's like, to be honest with you, Azure's probably a little more prepared to run that Office 365 cloud environment than Oracle. It's probably have some optimization in place. So again, to your customers, and you can pay me later. Sorry, dude. So my point being is, there's a lot of choice for your customers, depending on what their business is. Yeah, if they're an Oracle customer, Oracle Cloud works very nicely, and we can do some very nice things for them. But there may be situations from other cloud environments where an Oracle approach may not work for them, an Office 365, for example. So guys, what I ask you to do, remember the hybrid strategy from Oracle, and to same technology on-premise, in the public cloud, and in cloud at customer.
Great. Well, I'm super pleased we've been able to add a bunch of sales resources into the cloud digital team just over the last 90, 120 days. So, normally they tell you don't get out your phones. Get out your phones. I really would like for you to take a photo of this slide, because my super clear call to action is, you got a map of the United States of America. You know exactly which person it is. So we've got the cloud sales field team here. When you've got a partner who wants to talk about how they make the business model transformation to the cloud and to monthly recurring revenue, these are the folks you need to call state by state. When you've got a new partner, and y'all should know tons of them, that are more of a born in the cloud partner who doesn't have a relationship with Arrow today, I would love for you to bring this team in. They're business consultants about transforming your business towards cloud, monthly recurring revenue, and SaaS. The other players that are doing really well in this space are regional system integrators. We've had a couple of really nice wins, but one I'm super excited about is a head out of Chicago who's sort of a regional systems integrator, a partner that's transforming their business to be more service and systems integrator oriented. So I think the teams in the back, you guys want to stand up so they can put a face with a name. But we've got George Shawari up there. We've got Sean Whiteman, Amato Stellato, great name. Chris Hawk is here. Jessica Schell is one of our longtime sellers in this group. And Steve Reinhardt, or Rhino, if you want to call him by his nickname. Those are the folks. Find them tonight. Please introduce yourself. Please pull them in. I want them having 2 meetings a day with a partner about how we transform their business, 2 different partners each day. And so that's the call to action. And then last but not least, that's my cell number, that's my email. I want to know how they're doing working with your partners. So let me know. Send me a text, send me an email. I want to know how this team's doing. I'm confident they're going to do a great job, but we need to help simplify the complexity for our partners, and we need to help them make this transition. And this is the team to help do it. I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up rather than open it up for questions. But thank you very much, and I appreciate you getting us involved. Thank you, guys. Thanks.